need publicity for the PSP.
We're gonna do something about it.
PSP needs a hero.
Yeah.
A baller.
Yes.
Someone that ain't wearing a clip-on tie.
Huh?
We got good kids playing bad games.
You know what? You're onto something.
Mr. Butler's in my meeting right now. May I take a message?
So tell me, Marcus, where are you qualified for this position?
You know, KB, thing about me is, I know the PSP.
All right, just a couple of questions here I gotta ask.
Fire away, KB.
What is your greatest strength?
Sniping.
Greatest weakness?
Work too hard, always running up the scoreboard.
How many games are there in the PSP library?
Over 500.
Name the best PSP game under $10.
SOCOM, Fire Team Bravo.
Favorite snack?
I consume a healthy amount of suckers online every day.
Like that answer. When you first contacted me, I was just going to ignore you, but you showed me something today. You're hired. You start on Monday.
Right. Nice to know, my brother.
Okay, I'll see you Monday. I'll bring bagels. Hi, Cindy. Can you bring bagels in on Monday?
Step your game up. Marcus, PSP.
PlayStation.
Oh yeah, Sony had their bonehead moves. I thought, all right, we have to look that up, right? The Kevin Butler PSP thing. I'm gonna look that up. I thought they sued him because he was in a. Was it because he was in a Wii ad? I thought after that he came back. I thought the commercial we just played, "Long Live Play," was something else. So yeah. So Sony Computer Entertainment America's thing slogan for 2 years was it only does everything. And that's the slogan for the Xbox One, it only does everything. So for anyone out there it's like, "Oh, that's the slogan." It was a tire commercial, I think, which he had a Wii in it. I think it was. Let me check the Wicca. The Wicca Wah Wah. But I thought he came back for the, for the whole Project LLP, and they were making a joke of that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think you're right about the Wii thing about that. So I'm not saying like, "Oh my God, oh my God," but Kevin Butler is one of the best things ever. People are like, "How dare you say that?" But it was great. When he was on that stage, it was great. We can look up that commercial, actually. We can look up that commercial and actually watch that. Yeah, Sony self. Okay, here's what I was looking for. Okay, good. So Kevin Butler breaks our hearts. Wow. So Kevin Butler he was promoting a Wii commercial, then a PlayStation. That they could have pushed for a PS3 controller. They really could, but whatever. So they did settle. And I think that was the Long Live Play thing was after that, so that's why they were making fun of that, because I guess only gamers were really paying attention to the Sony settles with Marcus. Let's check this out.
Guys, what are you doing? Testing our new Wii, and it's all thanks to Bridgestone's new Game On promotion.
Really?
Yes. When you buy 4 select Bridgestone tires, you could receive a $70 American Express reward card or a Wii system by mail. So as you can see, this test is quite professional.
Wow, I smell too.
This fall, it's Game On with Bridgestone.
Dumb. It's Game On with Bridgestone, man. Alright, one more Kevin Butler. One more Kevin Butler, and then I'll read the old news about Kevin.
Well, anything that doesn't involve catching a big red ball. So, come on. Who wants to pretend their hand is a gun? What is this, 3rd grade? Woo! 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 Woo!
Yep. What is this, 3rd grade? I totally agree. And it's totally not 3rd grade. Alright, so let's shut the fuck up. What is this, 3rd grade? Pew, pew, pew. Alright, so there's that. Alright, let's turn on the webcam again. Alright, so this is kind of old news, but it's new news for me. So, Sony settles with Kevin Butler, actor, over Wii brouhaha. Jerry Lambert, who plays phony Sony executive Kevin Butler, has reached an agreement with Sony. The actors appeared in a Bridgestone ad playing a rival game console on the Wii. Reports that Lambert agreed to his contract with Sony excluded him from promotional rival game machines, and that doing so confusing some viewers who taught Kevin Butler character in both commercials. The ad resorted to a lawsuit with Bridgestone saying the character wasn't Kevin Butler. Of course it wasn't, but still. With the settlement, Lambert agreed to not appear in commercials related to any other video game or computer entertainment system or video game companies for 2 years. Wonderful. After that period, Lambert can appear in video game commercials during the first 2 years. Wonderful. Sony, not Lambert, owns the rights to Kevin Butler. Alright, great. While Sony and the actor have reached an agreement, Tokyo-based electronic giant will still be battling out with Bridgestone in the U.S. District Court in Northern District of California. So, I guess that video when he said, "You are the boss of me," was after the fact. He was the boss of him. And how old was that? 1/17/13? Wow, that was February, really? That was in February. That was in this is recent. Oh, sorry. When I meant old news, I meant this year's news. Did not know. I thought that was like really, really old news. So that is not old news. That is pretty freaking news. I did not know. So for anyone out there, I'm like, oh, you didn't know? I really did not know that Kevin Butler was one of those people. So for anyone out there, it's like, oh, you should know all that stuff. I didn't. All right, we're 27 minutes away from that stuff. My MacBook decided to take a royal dump on me. So for anyone in the room that's like, where did Raven go? Raven had to leave for a minute. He had to leave for a second while he's setting up something else. So I can't see you guys for the second that I'm here. So I'm gonna try to see you guys in a minute. So yeah, they did settle. So for 2 years, they're still gonna duke it out in court. Do I think it's smart for them to duke it out in court? Well, who knows? So that's going to be cool to see how Sony brings the pain with the next PS4. So there you go. They said it's not exclusive to all that stuff. So we are looking at a new generation of crazy and wonderful and whimsy. So I look forward to know what Sony does. To everything is happening with Sony. Doom, 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 doom. So for anyone out there, so I'm going to get back in the chat room. My computer. This is why I didn't do anything with my MacBook today. This is why. It's dying. And with OS X Maverick, I have to get a new one. Which has happened. For anyone out there, that will happen. So like I said, every good decision is a bad decision because Marcus PSP was probably one of the worst decisions you could make. Probably one of the worst ones you can make with the business. Yeah, these PSPs are the business. Fuck you. You are the boss of me. Yeah, I am the boss of you. You know it. Oh, you know it, and you know I am the boss. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah. So there it is. Marcus in the business. So, all right, I'm back in chat. Sorry. So, connect. He's right about that with some child's toy. Oh yeah, that was another thing. Microsoft is damage controlling on Reddit. I freaking hope that is not true either. So yeah, that's why he's back. I mean, I'm hoping hope, man. I'm holding hope. I bet they're gonna show way more Killzone, which I can't take more Killzone. I'm sorry, everyone. I know that sounds a little weird, but I can't take more Killzone. I can't do the Killzone. I can't do the Killzone. I can't do the Killzone. There is no killing. There is no zone. There is no do the Killzone. Do the Killzone. There is no Killzone. So for anyone out there, it's like, oh, how dare you not say that there is no Killzone? I can't do any more Killzone. No Killzone for me. So for anyone out there, it's like, Killzone. No Killzone. No doing the Killzone. All right, we're live blogging, question mark. For your consideration, best game, Disney Infinity. For your consideration, asshole, I will consider Disney Infinity as best game unless you take Good Luck Charlie and all that shit and shove it up your ass. Then I would consider it. But until then, I won't. Because you're not going to shove it up your ass. So Disney wants to be known for, it wants to win every 3 category with one game. No. Can't do it, dog. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't win with it. Alright, we are 23 minutes to Sony and all that stuff. So for anyone out there that just wants to know, we are 23 minutes to Sony, and I had to restart my computer. Jesus Christ. This thing's dying. At least they announced new MacBook Airs. They are very nice and very faster than the old Airs. I'm like, oh fuck. So yes, Sony. Will Sony bring the pain with the PlayStation 4? Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Alright, so everyone go. Okay, so the PC Elites. I gotta write something to you guys, so. Sony in 22. So yeah, there it is. We know nothing about Sony, we really do. But Sony has a lot to prove, man. They have a lot to prove in this conference coming up. They really do. So for anyone out there, it's like, ooh, Sony. Sony has a ton of shit to prove. Just a ton, just a ton, just a ton. Can they prove it? Can they savage the beast? Can they bring the pain? Can they? Sony, we're watching and we're liking what we're hearing. I can't wait. Sony! I know. So, Christopher, are you a Sony guy? I mean, I forgot to ask you people this question. Are you people Sony people? Are you guys, like, really... I know that I'm a gamer. And for anyone, they can sit here and say, I like games, I play games, and I think games are great, and all that stuff. I think it's, it is the happy medium that we are here. How Microsoft treats video games and how they treat things is, I feel like sometimes when they talk about the games and all that stuff, they go like, oh, the game is not that important, or it's not this, or it's not that, or it's not... They just don't seem very excited, like Adam Sussler said. I hope with the new generation of consoles they can come out and say, no, I hope Sony brings a little bit more. Sony's not known for excitement. I'm not sitting here like, I want Sony to come out and put put freaking fireworks in their ass and blow up fireworks and all that stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like, oh my god, that's what Sony needs to do. Sony needs to put the fireworks and bullshit and do all that stuff and shove it up their ass. No. Sony does not need to do that. Sony needs to be real and say, this is what we're doing with our console. This is what we're doing with used games. This is what we're doing with all that stuff. They need to be upfront and very personal. They need to say, our console does not need our console does spin the disc. It does not check. And that is an inconvenience to us, but if it does spin and we doesn't have a game check, we win. A game check. So, I'm really, really, really hope that it's not a game check. I really hope. Well, Sony's whole thing, right? For me, why I would get a PlayStation 4, maybe it's just me, but playing Battlefield with like a 3G AT&T phone or any of that shit sounds really damn cool. Sony's good for playing games in the living room. I'll say this, Christopher, and I know a lot of this stuff. Do you guys game in the living room? Do you guys have your TVs in the living room? I know Microsoft wants to say we want to own your living room, but I don't play games in the living room. I never did. I never do. I mean, when I play games in the living room, it's not a place that I want to play games. The living room's not a place for gaming for me. It never was. I had when I was living with my mom, I had a garage that literally was a den for gaming, and it was my office and all that stuff. You know, I play games in my room now and all that stuff because I have a monitor with HDMI and all that stuff. So when they sit here and say, oh yeah, Sony. So that's the thing that I sit here for, and it's like, do you play games in all that, in that vicinity and all that stuff? So yeah, I would like computers if they were quiet. Yeah, it will definitely be quiet, but I'm just saying, for me, it's like they're gonna probably say like 60 frames per second and all that stuff and all the buzzwords and all that cool stuff. So, all right, caller. Okay, Snoop Lion's back. Hello. So all the PC elites are back in the house. Good to have you guys. Good to have all the PC elite people back in the house. So Sony needs to, I don't want to say that they're the savior of gaming. Not yet. I'm not going to call it yet. I want to say that they cleared it up, but they need to hammer it home, man. They can hammer it home, but we'll see if they don't. So, Nintendo don't do the scrupulous practices, which is weird because I thought Nintendo would do these kind of practices because it seemed like Sony ain't going to do these practices. They're not. They're not doing these practices that are anti-consumer, antitrust. So in Sony, we'll see. We'll see. We know nothing about Sony. We know nothing. How this, yeah. What's up? Hello, Yanni boy. Sony's in 15 minutes. I suggest go to Game Trailers. We're talking about today's events with E3. Talking about how Sony needs to really come out with a policy. Not games. I mean, I really can care less about Sony games. I know Microsoft had to show the games because that was the faith thing. Sony needs to show that they really care and then show the games. So what they need to do is they're probably going to come out and talk about how great the PlayStation brand is and how great we are. And, I don't even know who's going to be on that stage, to be honest with you. I have no idea who the fuck's going to be on that stage. But like I said, if Tommy's going to be on that stage and all that stuff, and they just shower the PlayStation with love, and then I say when they get to the PlayStation, they should show a box. They should show a box. They're going to show a box. They've been teasing a box for a little teeny bit. You know, you can sit here as like, what the hell's that? I have no idea. Ooh. MFI game controllers, awesome. So we get third-party game controllers through the hardware. It was announced today. Awesome. So PlayStation going backwards compatible? No. No. Not back impact. No. Neither the Xbox nor PlayStation 4, the Xbox One or PS4 is back impact with the older systems. So if you have a PlayStation 3, and that's the inconvenience, but I have 3 PlayStation games. I know some people are like, I have PlayStation Plus games, I spent all this money on it. You know, I always look at these generations and all these people, fresh starts and all that stuff. I always go, yeah, you're going to lose something. Nothing's always goes intact with these game systems. So for anyone out there, go like, ooh, they're never intact, ever. So there you go. Not backwards compatible. Actually, is backwards compatible with the Gaikai stuff. So they're probably going to talk way more about the Gaikai shit and how that's going to work. Maybe not. Maybe they'll just show games. But I'm just saying, they should just make a bullet point and go like, our company. And see, here's the thing, right? For people that don't understand that, it's like, woo! They pay people to get there to cheer and do all that shit. And yeah. So for anyone out there, it's like, ooh, you just don't get it. I don't get it. So yeah. Xbox One's now available for pre-order on Amazon. $500, baby. $500. Alright, so at GameStop, pre-order can be completed online or at retail and require a $100 deposit. A little early for that. So if Sony announced that they're doing a pre-order thing, it's a little early for pre-orders. And plus, I don't think this generation is going to be a further or any of that stuff. So I hope so, because it seems like Microsoft's doing some unscrupulous bullshit that I really don't like. But we will see. Project Spark Game Maker announced Xbox One and Windows 8. So a lot of these Xbox One games that I am reading from, seems like it's going to Windows too. So it's not like, so they need to build up Windows as well. So it's not like they're building Xbox One. They need to build up the Windows side of gaming. They need people to adopt Windows 8. So even if you buy a PC for whatever, you know, there's going to be, not every game's going to be an Xbox One exclusive, but the good stuff is, yeah, tablet integration is the whole buzzword and all that stuff. Cloud computing, I hate the cloud because I live with a bunch of jackasses that might do stuff to the cloud, and then you have a $500 brick. So for anyone that gets an Xbox One, you gotta have a freaking internet connection. I don't have a reliable internet connection, so, you know, that's just really fucked up. So I'm you know, whatever. That's just whatever that is about. So we'll see what's going up. So that's 11 minutes to Sony and all that stuff. So they're the dark horse we know nothing about. They're the dark horse we know nothing about. And Microsoft said that they're not going to look into rentals and all that stuff day one. See, I think Microsoft really thinks that this Xbox is going to sell just like the Xbox 360. They don't. They thought, hey, we made this box, and the original people that were there to make the Xbox a success, the super success that it was, you know, those people are gone now. Peter Moore is at EA now, and the EA people that used to be at EA are now at Xbox now. The people that used to fuck up at Sony are now at Xbox now. All the fuckery, all the fuck-uppery. You know, do I believe in Phil Harrison? Yes. Do I think Phil Harrison's great? Yes. Do I think Phil Harrison will save the company? No. Do I think Phil Harrison will do things that I can say, you know what, that's cool, Phil, that's great. What do you think of the price now, Phil? and then he came out and said, "Oh look, Minecraft's on the Xbox One." Who did not see that coming? Of course, it's coming to the Xbox One. It's one of the big things that they're going to announce there. You know, like when Sony came out and said, "Hey, guess what? Blizzard's making a PS4 game." That was exciting. And then Blizzard shit in our face and said, "Hey, look, we made an Xbox 360 game." Yeah, fuck you. So much for the exclusive partnership, unless something. Like, I want to see more of those exclusive partnerships. We're going to see way more of Dynasty. Way more of Dynasty. So for anyone out there, we're going to see more of Dynasty. Way more things about Dynasty. So that's going to be good to see way more stuff about Dynasty. So there you go. So for anyone out there, it's like, oh, you just don't know about Dynasty. I know about Dynasty. I know everything about it. So we're probably going to hear a lot more about Dynasty and the beautifulness of it. All right, so I'm going to end the stream. All right, we're 9 minutes to Sony, 9 minutes to Sony. I'm going to stop it right now because I'm running out of content to talk about for Sony. There's only so much you can beat a dead horse, and there's so many times I can refresh this page, and there's so much of all that stuff. So I need all you people that have been excited through the church dance and all that stuff. We're going to do this. And it's going to be nuts. Let's just hope Sony runs on time too. Sony's always late. Oh my God! The first time they did their first E3 conference, when they announced $599. God, I hope they don't do that again. Or watching. Oh my God! I hope they don't do that. That would be awful. Alright, you be right back because it's almost time for... We're going to play one more video for Sony, and then I'm signing off right now, and then we're going to come back, and let's just hope to God I do the church dance, and we be excited for Sony and the presser that is going to be. But not to hit a dead horse and look at E3's past, but... Here's your fortune cookie, and I hope it's not a repeat. I hope I can come up and do a thumbs up.
We sent a message, and the message was clear. PlayStation 3 is not an incremental upgrade to our previous platforms, but is truly designed to advance our vision for computer entertainment today. It requires huge financial investment, $599 US, but we must take risks to reap the rewards. $599 US, and we're not about cutting corners to rush a product to market. Whoops. And we're certainly not interested in gimmicks.
Phil, today we have the Eye of Judgment. You see, I place a card onto the screen here, and a monster instantiates.
And we're certainly not interested in gimmicks.
So you can position this next to your TV screen and see for yourself what is coming up behind you.
And we're certainly not interested in conventional thinking.
Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history.
The essence of the PlayStation DNA is real change.
The stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
As we gear up for the November launch, we're very excited to share with you the phenomenal progress we've made in just a year's time. When we entered the portable space with PlayStation Portable, I often received two questions. Why did you wait so long? And why now? One single answer. The ability to offer the right product strategy at the right time. It's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer! And as the global leader, our mission at Sony Computer Entertainment is to create products that truly inspire and entertain fans around the world.
I heard that the graphics on it was crazy.
PlayStation 3 is powered by Cell. we have invested billions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of man-hours. It's a processor with power rivaling that of supercomputers, uniquely designed to support massive data processing required for digital entertainment. The essence of the PlayStation DNA is real change. So, what does all this mean? Ridge Racer! Simply put, we are giving the content creators unprecedented power to express their creativity and for the consumers to emotionally connect with and to enjoy the content that is created with a level of interaction, sophistication, and reality that has never been experienced with any other platform.
With a lot of great new features for this game. Features as real-time weapon change.
With PlayStation 3, we are taking it to the next level.
To flip over this crab on its back if he shows up. And you attack its weak point for massive damage.
To the next level.
Attack its weak point for massive damage.
Our development teams all around the world, in all of our studios, have been hard at work converting that technology and vision into magic.
Whoops. Another exciting aspect is the ability for consumers to make microtransactions, $599 US.
And we've been digging deeper and discovering what kind of muscle this machine really has.
And you can see from all of the games that we have up and running on PlayStation 3 that we're really starting to push what this machine is capable of.
Real-time weapon change.
Sorry, I had to stop it for a moment. I mean, you get it. So that's probably not going to be a repeat performance on their part because it seems like they got better over the years with that. But I just don't hope we have a dry conference, man. I just hope we don't have a dry PlayStation conference. I hope it's more like the PlayStation meeting. I really enjoyed that. You know, yes, there was dry moments in the PlayStation 3 meeting as well, but I hope we don't get like a Wonder Book kind of thing, which I give a pass and all that stuff. I just think that, you know, doing a press conference and doing all that stuff and being on stage and being chastised by the media and all that stuff, it's hard, man. I mean, they're entertainment. These are shows. I mean, these are things now should be for entertainment purposes. These executives are not actors. So for anyone out there, you're like, oh, these executives are actors. They're not actors. They're not actors at all. So I'm just making that point. So Sony's in 2 minutes. I just hope they can bring the wow and bring the pain and bring and deliver us from Eva. I hate Eva. So deliver us from Eva, and we will be back with Sony's post game, and then we will do a rundown of all day, and I'll tell you who, you know, with these press conferences, because Nintendo's tomorrow. We will be at Nintendo. We will talk about Nintendo tomorrow. So I will shut the fuck up, and now it's time for Sony. Thank you, and have a nice night.